They're pretty good. Greetings, Internet. It's Katie, and welcome to a very new space you haven't seen yet. This is my kitchen in my new house. Very spacious, as you guys can see. Can you guys even see the candles up here? Are they like lost cause? Even those for the aesthetic? Oh, and Taylor Swift said it in that one song, Begin Again. We're gonna do that. Why? I've been watching way too much of the Food Network, so here we are with some food in front of us today. I have this notepad here with a bunch of questions that you guys asked me. I have somehow been put in charge of making desserts for Christmas Eve, which is weird because I don't cook. I don't make anything that involves eating because I will burn it or destroy it or poison it or something by accident because I'm just not that gifted in that category. Somehow my aunt has trusted me with the task of creating a dessert, so here I am multitasking because I wanted to make a video today, but I also need to make desserts, so hey, why not do both at the same time? As you guys can see here, I have some strawberries, parchment paper, and a bunch of chocolate chips and assorted chocolates that we're going to use to create something. I'm sure you guys can guess what that something is. We're off to a really great start. The fact that I'm Googling the recipe for this as we shoot. It is crazy, crazy foggy outside, and I did not bring any of my lighting or any of my tripod equipment to my house. So you guys are currently sitting on 4 boxes of Kleenex. Good news, I already washed the strawberries. I put them back in the carton like so. But I have 2 little cartons of them because I do have quite a large family and I kind of wanted to have, you know, a plentiful amount. These are from Target, actually. Surprisingly enough, they have good produce there and it's super cheap. For a girl like me who's balling on a budget, this is good. They were like $2 each. All these supplies that I bought was under $20 total, so it's a very inexpensive way to sweeten up the holiday, right? Oh, that rhymed. Pat on the back. Okay. I have a nutcracker collection, fun fact, so we're going to use my nutcracker collection to hold up this paper. I have 36. I'm going to read off some questions that you guys submitted. I wrote them out, and my friend Brad drew a questionable object on the top of the paper. Great, thanks Brad. First question from Kelly Burke is a random question, but what is your favorite font? I'm very big on the fonts. My friends actually make fun of me because I'm very good at naming fonts on command. Like if I look at a piece of paper or something with fonts on it, I can practically tell you what the font is. So my favorite font of the moment, I'm gonna be totally basic and say Bebas New. That's a beautiful font. It's so perfect for basically any sort of project. But I'm also a really big fan of mixing the sans serif and serif like together, like in a headline subhead. So I really love using Modern number 20. That's like another amazing font. There's some other like kind of fancier fonts I've been using. There's one called Bakery and one called, oh my gosh, the name escapes me, but I will put it somewhere on the screen. Camille Green wants to know, how do you sound interesting to guys? Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this about me, but at least at home I have a lot, I feel like I have a lot more guy friends than girlfriends. First of all, this strawberry is funky looking. We're gonna throw that one out. So, I mean, I guess the biggest tip I have for, you know, any sort of social situation is to treat the person that you're talking to like a human being. Don't elevate them, don't put them on a pedestal just because they're a boy and like, oh my god, boys, cooties, you know, that sort of feeling. You know, don't treat a boy like he's anything other than a boy. And basically, talk to a boy like you would talk to anyone else, and don't overthink the relationship. That's a big, big, big deal. Like, don't assume like, oh my god, I'm friends with this boy, like he's gonna fall in love with me now. Like that's not a real life thing. Like I have guy friends that I'm very close with and I've been close with for years that still treat me like a little sister or like an equal, like a boy. Don't think too much into the relationship, and that is the easiest way to get to know a guy on like a personal level. So we're almost done laying out the strawberries. Guys, it's almost Christmas. It's crazy. I feel like Christmas gets weirder every year. I get to the point where I'm like, I've done this before. Yep. The one lone strawberry that fell on the ground, I feel like it's like the rejected cousin, you know? Everyone has one of those. We got bittersweet dark chocolate, and then we got white chocolate. And I feel like I can just put it in the oven, or wow, microwave. I love Google. What did we do before the age of Google? Ghirardelli. Ooh, I feel like I'm Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory or Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. He opens the chocolate bar and tries to find the golden ticket. Like I feel like that's me right now. Bummer. In a little bowl. Microwave safe bowl, of course. Wow, I am like so on the verge of eating this right now, it's ridiculous. I swear, microwave minutes last longer than real minutes in life. Like I feel like they just last like 10 times longer. The edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. I'm on the edge. Ooh, that just smells so good. Oh my god. Okay, so we have our chocolate. I'm gonna wait till the bowl kind of cools off because I'm a sissy and it hurts my hands. XX wants to know, do you have any questions for December 2016, Katie? So next year me, do I have any questions for next year me? First of all, I'm very curious if I'll get a tattoo this year because I've really been considering getting a tattoo recently. Like I've just been kind of racking my mind for something that I want to permanently get on my body, which is bad because I'm supposed to like, you know, kind of let it come to me. Whenever I think of getting a tattoo, I just like picture myself like crusty and 80 years old with like a saggy tattoo, and it just like kind of deflates my excitement for getting a tattoo. So I'm curious if by this time next year I convince myself to get a tattoo. So December 2016, Katie, may the odds be forever in your favor, be ever, wow, I butchered that. May the odds be ever in your favor, 2016, Katie. We'll see how it goes. I hope for all of us that this next year is better than last year. You know, well, this year, I guess, or next year's better than this year. You get me. I feel like this world, like all we really need right now is just a big, giant group hug. Like we can all gather somewhere, and then there's like 8 billion of us, but like we could gather somewhere and just like have a big, nice group hug. Cause you know, the feeling of being hugged when you're upset is just like the best thing ever. I love being hugged. I don't know, some people are weird about personal space. I'm really not. I say come at me. Come at me, bro. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip it into the chocolate, the dark chocolate, and then I'm gonna drizzle on the white chocolate. Does that make sense? Is that what I should do? This is cool. I've never done this before. Maybe I should be craftier and like cook more. I feel like it's good for the soul, you know? One strawberry completed. This is gonna be a messy task. The next question, Maggie wants to know, what is my favorite word or phrase? The other day I was mindlessly scrolling through Instagram for several hours like I normally do. It's like a normal activity for me. And you know what happens? Creep on one person and then you unintentionally creep on their like brothers, girlfriends, sisters, cousins, aunt, or something, because you like click on their username, then you click on the next username of someone tagged in the picture. You know, you feel me? You just like accidentally creep on people you literally do not know whatsoever. Although I don't quite remember this girl's name, I'm following her on Instagram, so I don't really know what her name is. She has this really cool tattoo with the word Patriker on her like mid shin, I guess, like on her leg somewhere. I just like could not stop thinking about that word, so I googled it. It's a word that describes the smell after it rains, so like the earth after rainfall, like the smell of the earth. Yeah, that is my favorite word of the moment. It's a really cool word, and I suggest that maybe you tattoo it on yourself because it's pretty cool. Rihanna Sherlock wants to know, what are some childhood moments that have stuck with you and have impacted who you are today? So the first thing that came to mind when I read this on my Instagram feed was my grandma. I just remember my grandma, like she constantly said this phrase, look on the bright side, you know, whenever something just seemed kind of like bleak or just, you know, upsetting or sad in my life. And, you know, granted I was like 5 years old. I think I was like 10 years old when she passed away. But I remember distinctly, you know, as a younger girl, always hearing my grandma say, like, Katie, look on the bright side, look on the bright side, you know? That definitely shaped who I am today because I feel like even though I do get put in some like pretty shitty situations, like everyone does, you know, I always have the tendency to like, you know, look on the bright side, even if there is no bright side. I love like thinking about my grandma because she was such an amazing part of my life. And I feel like, you know how people say that like little kids are like sponges? When they're the youngest is the time that you need to like, you know, impress upon them like all this information because it will like totally shape who they are as a person in their adult life. And that's why a lot of parents like try to force their little kids to like, you know, learn Mandarin Chinese and stuff. But, you know, for me, I feel like my grandma, you know, was a huge part of like shaping me as a person because I was with her all the time when I was younger. Both my parents worked when I was younger. My mom worked at a hospital, and so she had these weird hours, and then, you know, a lot of times I would just be with my grandma. And obviously I did not mind. I think I might have mentioned it in my last video, but it's so important to consider, or just to ponder, to think about, you know, what makes you you, and what people in your life do you need to thank right now for the way you are. You know, if I could thank my grandma, I would, and I know like she's here somewhere, probably lounging on that couch over there listening to me talk about her. Hey grandma. So as you guys can see, I have scraped the bottom of the barrel on the dark chocolate, and there are still some strawberries, the reject strawberries, sorry Felicia's over here, that we're just gonna have to do solid white chocolate on, which is not good. Some people just aren't a fan of dark chocolate, so that is pretty considerate of me, I will say. You know, just happened by chance, but it's still pretty considerate. So Anonymous on Tumblr wants to know, what do you wish you knew before your first kiss? Fun fact of the day, I actually had a whole video on my first kiss, so definitely check it out. I'll link it somewhere. Some things I wish I knew. First and foremost, I wish that I knew, or I like understood it in my mind, that I didn't need to get rid of my first kiss. I feel like everyone is like on this mad dash to, you know, get rid of their first kiss and just like swap spit with someone and be over and done with it. I feel like what's to blame for that is comparison and people's need to like tell stories about their crazy love affairs, and like people, you know, feel insignificant when they hear those stories because they have nothing quite to measure up with, because they compare other people's situations to their own situations and they feel like they need to compensate for what's missing. And you know, that's just like a huge human flaw that I feel like is never going to go away. But you know, it sucks because like it plagues, you know, 14, 15, 16-year-old girls the worst or the most, because they feel like, oh my god, I'm old enough now, I might as well get my first kiss out of the way and kiss some jerk or something. I know people my own age that have never kissed a boy, and it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, it does not mean that you're gonna die early or you're gonna be insignificant in life. You're not gonna be successful. Like, I think there's some really successful people in the world that didn't kiss a boy or a girl until they were like in their 20s, and that's not a big deal. I most certainly had a very great first kiss experience, but I feel like a lot of my time before that was kind of tainted with me just like itching to get rid of my first kiss, and that's just the wrong attitude to have. So I wish I could tell my 16-year-old self, like, don't worry, just like, patience is a virtue. You're not a very patient person, because I'm not a very patient person, but please have patience with this, because it's really not a big deal when it comes down to it. So yeah. Wow, oh my god, I wish I could just take a bath in this. Does anyone like just want to be like laying in a bath and have chocolate like drizzled all over you? Like, I feel like maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud, but delicious. Okay, so now that the white chocolate is stirred to perfection, we're going to drizzle it. And this part has actually been giving me significant anxiety. I feel like I'm going to completely destroy this now. Good or bad, or... You may enter my kitchen, my safe space. My family has no decency for these sort of things. No decency. So as you guys can see, these strawberries are done. They look fabulous, or as fabulous as they could possibly look with me behind the wheel. Graceful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys all. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Oh, whew. That's a wrap.
Say Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Merry Kwanzaa, all of those. All of those wonderful things. Hanukkah as well, I've been reminded. Okay, bye.